somebody kept saying, "Guy, this is a wrong move." I was like, "No, I'm in love. Who grew up was born into a broken home. Then at some point there was no home at all."
Here's what I've observed. You know they feature people for your song. Are you guys noticing? So
ceremony, somebody will get up from that coffee. Why will he come and eat your rice and go home and you're happy again? I'm not even a music artist.
Who are you?
I'm a priest.
Hey, what's up? How you doing? Great to have you join us on Vibe Lounge by Praiseworld Radio. We get a vibe, we get a lounge with some of your favorite people in the world, your favorite artists, your favorite personalities. And guess who I have in the building today? Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
Give it up for it's Angeloh. Hey. Yeah, by the way, Angeloh is a singer, is a songwriter, is now a husband. Let's add that one to the collection. And yes, he's an art director, and he's a creative on many standards. Great to have you on Vibe Lounge today. What's popping? Alaye pray.
You know, like
a devil go chop you for lunch.
These are some of the reasons why my voice is getting destroyed by the minute. You know, yeah, we're good. The work is good. Family is good. Life is good. Eyes are being opened by the minute, and you know, we're even like we're still. It's funny how we should be celebrating, but it's just that there's plenty of work. Like, you know, God just used us to be part of something big that just happened over the week. Prayer walk. It has become a national phenomenon, and in the diaspora as well. So we bless God for it, but there's no time to pop champagne here. There's a work that is keeping it flying. So, you know, myself and the rest of the team, Limo, Coach, Gospel, Amos, you know, there's still a whole lot of work.
Now, as an artist, there's a lot you're doing with your craft, the music. And like, I know you just dropped a new single. You dropped one last month. I know there's more coming. So there's the music going on. Would you call some of these things distractions, or would you say this is more of unveiling the true minister that every artist should be?
Okay, when you say distraction, what are you referring to?
For example, if there was no prayer walk, if there were all these things were not going on, you probably would be hyping your song a lot more. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, you know, and it's a very serious and very good question, because some of the things we've been trying to, like, I wasn't always this way. You know, it's so funny how I'm part of the people that went and was leading a prayer walk up and down. Like, fast forward 2 years ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I was a believer, but man, if somebody came from MFM and was talking, pray, be like, okay, you're stressing us, Jesus has died, you know, grace, yeah, like, you know, God has now taken, and at the end of the day, the common denominator I find in everything is just desire. When you desire and yield yourself to God, He shall know how to carry you through all the ropes. So, you know, it's funny how in the earlier stages of my career, when nobody even knew me, like, I was literally toying around, you know, less trying to be like the Christian guy that's just creative. You know, you're trying to like fiddle in between and stuff. Yeah. Now I'm like, almost this is what I am, man. Like, all the way, like, and there's something that happened. So what I'm trying to say this too is that there's growth. There are people that even come at me sometimes, and I'm like, almost see my hair, see my necklace. So did you look at me and see somebody that looks like a deeper life person? You should ask me why I'm sounding this way, because you don't see people like me sound this way or move this way or talk like this. So ask me what happened before you come at me with, you get. So but back to the statement, what has happened to me over time is I had to embrace everything. Embrace it in the sense of, you know, you are gifted by God, you have many things by God, and there are so many roles you're going to grow into. Even in the secular space, you have people who came out as rappers, eventually they went on to own labels, own businesses and stuff. There's room for evolving. It's just that in my case now, I'm growing with the evolution from the scratch. So it's not like I was always an artist, just maybe that's what a few people knew me for. Then all of a sudden, he also makes art, you know, and that art has now become part of the thing. So even if I'm not releasing a song, I'm making art for people releasing songs. Sometimes I'm even on the song and I make art for it at the same time. But it has also gone beyond that too, because there's something I'm trying to drive. The music was made to drive a message home. You know, other gifts are now springing up at the same time, other expressions of it. So at the end of the day, I'm not even a music artist.
Who are you?
I'm a priest. So whatever situation I find myself in, whatever response is required of me to fit that, to meet the gap, I will do that thing.
Right.
As long as he achieves the purpose. Yes.
Sounds good. You know, you're a husband now. All right. As a husband,
we bless God.
Can you see stomach?
As in, I pray against pot belly. It's just that all the people that have private jets, As the all the people that have private jets, they have pot belly. So maybe pot belly is the common denominator. So we are open.
So as a husband, yeah, you have a partner in life now. How has that contributed to how? Is there any difference in how life, ministry, and career has been for you?
It's a very significant addition. I will not say difference. It's a very significant addition. So you're a baby, you're a son when you're born. You're a baby, you have all the perks that come with being a baby, no responsibilities. You become an adolescent child, you're still a son, some perks, some responsibilities. You grow up into an adult in the home. Now, okay, there are more responsibilities expected of you in addition to perks. So it's not necessarily like becoming a son from a child is different. It's just that there's more now. I just want to say this because a lot of people keep saying, oh, God made me go through this so that he can. That's a total lie. We throw ourselves into very awkward situations. The good thing is God can turn any story around for his good. So the question is, are you sure you want to go through everything? Because looking back now, like now from the standpoint of being married, I'm like, why in God's name did I have to throw myself through all those things? Well, of course, I had learned lessons from it, but when you look at the lessons, you could have learned them by wisdom and not burnt your hands in the first place.
Maybe some other people's experiences.
Or maybe other people's, like that's when it's like the wisdom, maybe someone gives you advice or experiences of other people. I mean, there were some situations I threw myself into that everybody kept saying, guy, this is a wrong move. I'm like, no, I'm in love. I mean, or for other reasons. So, but basically it's changed in the sense of now, you begin to, I think your perspective changes as you grow. So now as a husband, I have more responsibilities. I have people under my covering. Children will come eventually. You have more people under your covering. There's something that happens to you when you have responsibilities. So you're a young person, you're enjoying life until you have to pay the school fees of everyone, your siblings. I've not had to do that yet, but for those, when you see people who have had to step into those shoes, you realize that their growth is usually advanced than people that the rest of their mates who still have parents taking care of them. So it's going to shape me up in several ways, and also like even giving a more husbandly perspective to even my work with God. So when you're hearing things like Christ is the husband, and we are the church, you also begin to, there are some things you will not understand until you're in that space, no matter how much book you've read. So some of those things became
another level. Like
there's
when
another
you
level when you've gone father, become a father. Right. So, and I'm also looking forward to those moments. So because now it's helping me understand even better the scope, especially for someone like me who grew up was born into a broken home. Then at some point there was no home at all. So thankfully God took all those stories and found a way to craft me into what I am now. I'm grateful for it, and now like I have the opportunity to start on a clean slate and then pick up even on the lessons I couldn't get when I was younger, but now I'm getting it from being the husband. So a few years ago, if you ask myself and coach, and the guys will be like, come on, God no they give wife, or he that finds a wife, you have to find a wife, and then God will, come on, Allah, God they give wife. And it's very key, because especially for people like us, and I mean people like us, people that like us that have decided we want to do something that's is not popular yet, but it is. We're in a season where it's going to become extremely popular. We're in a season where
it's already looking like it already.
It's already come. You're in a season where some of the things that you used to be ashamed of. This is the season where people really step into Romans 1:16 and be unashamed. So, but the thing is that there's a price that comes with all those things. So some people see something happen, and they are jumping on it and it's good, but there are some people who are putting in a particular kind of work. So which is the reason why they advise you marry well, because if your wife is on another thing entirely, or your spouse, it's not even about gender now, if your spouse is on a totally different wavelength than you are, and that wavelength is not where you're being led or you're in the line of your trajectory, you're going to run into serious problems. So it's beautiful knowing how much the woman God packaged for me. She's everything. So if I need to be in a particular space, before I even say babe we need to, she already sensed it before I came in.
It's sounding good, bro.
It's good. It's good. It's
The next time I have you on the show, I would love to like spotlight on some of those experiences that you had growing up and the lessons that you learned from them, because I believe there's a lot that people can learn from that.
Definitely.
While we vibe and we lounge. But before we go, you have a brand new single.
Yes.
And here's what I've observed. You know they feature people for your song. Are you guys noticed? So Angeloh hardly features. I know you have a song where you featured SO.
Yes.
But aside that, I can't even think of any song
I
right.
think that's the only feature. Okay, no, I
Okay,
featured
there's one-
Oreoluwa Macaulay.
Yes, you had
On
another
my new
feature. I mean, we can.
That's
see,
only
we
it,
can't
actually.
even. We can't. No, you featured them. These guys. What's the name of these guys? Oh, okay, True Breed. You see?
Oh, yeah,
True Breed,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
Remember?
That one is not featured now. That's the team now.
All right, so you hardly feature people. You know, Angeloh is not one of those guys. You see, Angeloh featuring, TOLA, Angeloh featuring, and he has a lot of friends. So what's alpha now?
Well,
That.
it's not like I have a standing order not to have features. So for example, little backstory. For the SO feature, that song was made 3 years prior to when it came out, and when I made that song, I knew it inside. It had to be SO. At that point in time, we had no connection or any link to SO whatsoever. And if we're going to call him out of the blues, we're going to have to pay some money we never even have. I mean, we're just starting out in the music. So, and then one day, over time, SO comes up and it's like, oh, guys, if you want to feature me, I'm available now for, very,
Wow.
let's just talk. You don't overthink it. If you're ready for feature, I'm like, I didn't have to go and make a new song. There was already a song waiting. And I'm like, oh my bros, this song has been here. And he heard it. I sent him the mail. He heard it. The next mail I got from him was, what's the tempo? When they ask you what's the tempo, they're
ready to bounce, jump in.
I sent him the tempo. He sent me the song that night. And it's funny how even when we recorded, it still took like 7 months to a year before we could put it out for several. Even the final time we finally put it out, now Vex put them up. He casted the song by himself. So even the one with True Breed, I think if I don't feel the need to, and then again, like the kind of things I say in my songs, or the angle I come from sometimes, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to sound deep. It's just I don't know. Another thing I also try to avoid is so that you don't send me a verse and maybe how you might not just be on the same thing I'm thinking of at that point in time.
Yeah.
It's not because you're not a crafty person, but there's something that happened to me. So even Come Alive, like I put down in the information when I was writing Come Alive. In fact, the major reason I was writing Come Alive, my manager at that time, a parent of hers was sick and dying. So I was in the middle of praying for light to come into that situation. Let something happen. And I was also in the studio making music, and I put, in my head, I wanted to record the song and send it to her.
For that purpose.
For that purpose.
Yeah.
So hopefully, of course, eventually the person still died anyway, And then years had gone by, lockdown came, and my guys, Coach and Gospel, were me during the lockdown, and my team, Seven, who is also like part of the True Breeze people that I featured, they're also like my back end team. They were like, oh, Alpha, let's put out the song. Okay, this song looked like a very timely song, and it's funny, when it came up, everyone like, man. So Coach them had been jamming the song, like, yeah, when I drop in this thing, and it's not because it was a vibe. For those that know me, they know I'm not. I mean, I make dope songs by God's grace, but it's not about vibe for me. In fact, for me, and I'm not saying this with any sort of arrogance or anything, but it's not enough for me to, like, people buzz me and be like, man, your song is fire, and I'm asking, like, all the things I said in the song, is the beat you heard? Like, there's something I'm going for. Like, for me, it's not enough to have a million streams. I want that. Like, I want to blow. So I don't used to whine myself. I did a discussion, I have the Holy Spirit. Like, I want to go. But if it's that it's just going to go and that's it, people come to my concerts and have a good time and go home. If you want to have a good time, there are plenty of people to have a good time with. For me, I don't think being in the presence of Jesus is, and all you got was a good time. I mean, there's some people can literally, if it came to your burial ceremony, somebody will get up from that coffin. Why will you come and eat your rice and go home and you're happy again? So, but
wow. I wish we could go on and on and on with this.
We'll talk later. We'll talk later before the show.
Well, hey guys, we have Angeloh has a brand new song. It's called Come Alive. Last month he went to the bakery. He went to go make bread. So there's a song called Bread, and of course a whole lot more. You check that out, and you can find some of that in the link below as well. God bless you. We're up and out of here. Wow.
Praiseworld, Vibe Lounge, your favorite boy Angeloh, Omoniyi, Spice on the mic. I don't know how I dropped that name. We'll see fight, but yeah.
Thank you so much, Angeloh. We're gonna do this again.
Definitely.
And to you, make sure you share this video with a friend, and we'll see you on the next one.
So easy to listen to Praiseworld Radio, Africa's #1 online gospel radio station on the go. Simply whip out your phone, go to your app store, search for Praiseworld Radio, Download the app, now install. That's it. Launch the app to tune in anytime by tapping the icon. Guess what? It doesn't even burn your data. With less than 15 MB, you can stay tuned for 1 hour. Isn't that cool? You can also enjoy lots of interesting features by navigating the app. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Praiseworld Radio app today.